All right, just to review what we were working on yesterday, we built on what we had done Monday and Tuesday with starting to work on factoring trinomials. Monday and Tuesday, we just worked on the when a equaled 1. So we got used to doing the x method to find the two, to split the x's, and then factoring our generic rectangle. So yesterday we said, well, what happens when we add a being greater than 1? And we looked at this example and we said the first thing that has to happen when a is greater than 1, we have to check if there's a GCF. It doesn't mean because a is greater than 1 that there is a GCF, but that needs to be our first step. When a is greater than 1, check for a GCF to see if we can factor that out. If there is a GCF and you do not factor it out, you will not be able to get the correct answer doing this method. You have to take the GCF out if there is one. So we looked at that. The one thing we did say when we were looking at that GCF was make sure that it does appear in your final answer. It's not like it goes away. That 5 that we took out here is still outside of the 2 other factors that we found. So you can't just let it go away. And then you had another example. We did a couple problems together here. And then we went over 3, 4, and 5 at the end of the period yesterday. So again, at this point, I'm going to pause for a little while, start walking around and looking at your 6 through 11 and see how we're getting on with those. All right, on these next ones, I'm not going to work through the whole problem. I'll just talk about the rewrite if there is one, and I'll give the factored form. You guys should have filled out everything else. I'm just going to look at answers here just to make sure so that I can move some of you on because I know you finished, give you some practice here. So on number 6, we did not have a GCF, so our rewrite would just still be x squared minus x minus 6. So our factored form, x squared minus x minus 6, becomes x, one of your parentheses is x minus 3, the other one is x plus 2. It doesn't matter what order you wrote them in, just one is 1, the other, as long as those are the 2 parentheses you had where the 3 is negative and the 2 is positive. On number 7, you do have a GCF here, so your rewrite would be 5 times the quantity, 2x squared plus 9x plus 7. So our factored form, we started with 10x squared plus 45x plus 35. That now becomes 5 times 2x squared plus 9x plus 7. And one thing I want to make sure, don't lose that 5. That 5 is still part of the answer because without the 5, we can't get back to the 10x squared. So this becomes 5 times the quantity. One of them is 2x plus 7. And the other one is x plus 1. So again, when you do have a GCF, or if you do have a GCF, we have to make sure that we don't lose it in our final answer. It is still part of the answer. Number 8, x squared minus 4x minus 5. There's not a GCF there. We've got a equal to 1. So we take that x squared minus 4x minus 5, and that becomes x minus 4, no, time out. So one parenthesis would be x minus 5, the other parenthesis would be x plus 1. Number 9, 12x squared minus 11x plus 2. There is not a GCF, so again, the rewrite is just the problem. So our factored form, 12x squared, is minus 11x plus 2. One of your factors here should be 4x minus 1. The other factor is 3x minus 2. Number 10, 16x squared minus 30x minus 4. There is a GCF here. 16, 30, and 4 all have a 2 that can come out. So this should be rewritten as 2 times 8x squared minus 15x minus 2. So 16x squared minus 30x minus 4 equals 2 times the quantity 8x squared minus 15x minus 2, which becomes 2 times, and one of your parentheses here would be x minus 2, and the other parenthesis would be 8x plus 1, is how that should have factored out on number 10. Number 11, 25x squared minus 20x plus 4. Unfortunately, there is no GCF for that, so our rewrite would just be the problem. So 25x squared minus 20x plus 4. One of your parentheses should be 5x minus 2. The other parentheses should be 5x minus 2. So you could actually rewrite this one if you wanted to as 5x minus 2 quantity squared. All right, so you've had a lot of practice at this. The first worksheet you're going to be given just has a equaling 1. So I am going to give you a homework today. I know there's notes in your packet, but I think we've done enough on these two activities that I don't think we really, especially for a equals 1, I don't think we need to go through and do more notes. So I will give you the homework for this.